Hi folks, today I'm reviewing Everyday Heroes from Evil Genius Game. If you're looking for a modern take on 5th edition, this might be the game for you. Evil Genius Games sent us this copy to review, and they also sent us an additional copy to give away, so stick around to the end of the video to find out how you could win your own copy. As someone who loves exploring different RPG systems, I was excited to dive into Everyday Heroes from Evil Genius Games. This game serves as a kind of successor to a D20 Modern. It blends very familiar elements of D&D 5th edition mechanics with cinematic action tailored for modern day adventures. But does it live up to that promise? Let's explore the details. Okay, let's start off with what the system does well. Everyday Heroes opens with a solid introduction to roleplay fundamentals. They emphasize diversity not specifying like gender, race, or disabilities, which I think is really cool. You can play, they say like you can play whoever you want to play, and we're not going to stat out that nice little touch. And there's also some notes in there about encouraging the game master to, have their own discretion and personalized style. I also appreciate that character creation offers 3 flexible approaches, which I think makes it a little bit more accessible for new as well as experienced players alike. You're given these kind of 3 different ways to approach character creation. So if just going start to finish on the steps doesn't really spark anything for you, you can use one of the other 2 approaches. Now, the system's streamlined mechanics are one of its really good strengths. If you are familiar with D&D 5e, you'll find this system very easy to grasp because it's based on 5e. It's got familiar elements like ability scores, proficiency bonuses, and the advantage-disadvantage system. This is going to make it really great for groups who are wanting a modern system and don't want to learn entirely new rules, who are coming over from D&D 5th edition. Okay, let's talk about the classes. So instead of your traditional fantasy classes, Everyday Heroes introduces 6 everyman classes. You have strong, agile, tough, smart, wise, and charming heroes. These are the archetypes, and then there are 3 to 4 heroic classes within those archetypes. I think this provides a really rich variety of modern character options. Each class feels very well defined and offers unique abilities that fit really great into action movie settings like the hacker's tech-savvy skills or the duelist combat finesse. And the variety in the archetypes, while tending a little bit more into the like action movie star, does have some of those like face or more thinky type characters like a hacker or like a mastermind, so that there is a variety in this game if you don't want to just play run and gun or, beat 'em up style action hero. You can play like a heist type game with this system. Now, character creation flows logically from concept to background, profession, ability scores, archetype, and then finishing touches. I do really like how backgrounds and profession are early on in the character creation, and it feels like they significantly influence the stats and abilities. It makes the characters feel a little bit more grounded in reality. And unlike other D20 systems, 5e, where backgrounds can often be kind of an afterthought, here they're integral. They're a part of your character. For example, a character with a military background might gain tactical skills, while a journalist might excel at gathering information. Having the background and profession being part of the early aspect of character creation does make it feel like, okay, you are playing heroes, but these are real world people who happen to be in a heroic situation, and then they're gonna end up going back to their day job because being a hero doesn't necessarily pay well. The combat system is designed for cinematic action, featuring real-world firearms that feel like they're pretty balanced to avoid overpowering gameplay. That's kind of impressive. It encourages dynamic action movie sequences with stunts and chases, perfect for emulating John Wick, Mission Impossible, or Die Hard. The rules for vehicle chases add an adrenaline-pumping element, encouraging players to think creatively in combat. Now, there are official cinematic adventures that are set in worlds like Pacific Rim, Rambo, Escape from New York, and The Crow. And these are like officially licensed in-world, ready-to-play adventures. But we're not going to talk about them. I just wanted to acknowledge them because I thought that was really cool. If you're interested in playing in one of your favorite movie worlds, check out and see if Everyday Heroes has that adventure. But in the core rulebook, there is a very well thought out GM section. It provides guidance for creating custom adventures with comprehensive stats for allies and foes. GM tools are impressive with clear instructions for running sessions, balancing encounters, and building suspenseful narratives. In addition to the instructions of how to play Everyday Heroes, it also kind of guides you through how to be a game master, which I think is really great, especially for first-time game masters. You are going to have this toolkit in this book and not needing to kind of go to other sources as well. A big thanks to all of our patrons, especially Alicia. If you enjoy our videos, make sure you are subscribed and then head on over to patreon.com and check out the perks of being a patron. Okay, let's get back to this review. Okay, so let's talk about the flaws and limitations. While the 5e Foundation is very accessible for most gamers, I think it can feel limiting for those who want a unique modern RPG system. Armor class, hit points, and initiative follow the 5e conventions, which may not fully capture the modern action thriller vibes like some maybe other narrative systems like Savage Worlds or GURPS. Also, the class-based structure, though helpful, may feel restrictive for players used to skill-based systems like Cyberpunk Red. Building truly unique characters outside of the heroic classes can be challenging, and some players may miss the flexibility of a classless system. I don't even think you can even multi-class in Everyday Heroes. If you can, I missed that in the rules. Now, if you're the game master and you're not going to be using a cinematic adventure, you're going to have to put in some extra effort. Though robust, the system doesn't offer extensive built-in support for homebrewing modern-day campaigns. Like, there's no, here's the example starter adventure to play. But it does provide solid advice for those willing to invest the time into creating your own crime drama, espionage, or urban fantasy. And I will say the modern settings, there's a little less work, I think, in building a world. Like, you need to figure out the city and the area, but a lot of it can just be telling your players, here's how this world is different from our own. You don't have to build it from the ground up the way that sometimes you have to do with fantasy. The book itself feels really high quality. The artwork is excellent, showing a wide diversity of the kinds of heroes and modern games you can play. There's a wide representation of ethnicities and body types, which I really appreciate. And just looking through the book, there are these little details in the artwork that kind of help spark these ideas, which I always appreciate, as a game master or even as a player. There's also a good mix of kinds of NPCs, from master villains to henchmen, mundane folk, to animals, to sci-fi aliens and robots, and even some supernatural like demons, vampires, and zombies. Now, I will say this is a modern book, so there is not magic. Some of the classes might have kind of mystical or slightly supernatural abilities, but there's no magic. Now, there is an additional source book that you can add in magic, I think, and maybe we'll talk about that in a future video. But this is modern. It's, our world with action heroes. The character sheet at the back of the book feels pretty good. It feels like the first page gives you a very good quick reference. There is plenty of space to write in the details of your talents and feats. I also like that they provide a place and vehicle page to have all of that information easily accessible to players, and feels like, especially the vehicles, like you can have your vehicle stats there. Or if you got like a home base, you can have the place stats. So for $30 for the PDF or $60 for the physical book and PDF bundle, love that they include the PDF if you buy the physical book, this feels like a really good price. You have everything you need to play a game in the system in this book. This is a hefty book. You're getting a lot for your money, which is also why I love that they include the PDF, so you don't have to lug this around to game nights. Like, this is pretty heavy. Now, as I said, there are also some supplemental source books that add magic or more vehicles, plus there are the cinematic adventures that let you play in officially licensed movie worlds. Okay, so quick rundown of who do I think is going to enjoy this system. D&D 5e players who are seeking a modern setting with familiar mechanics. Fans of action and spy thrillers who want cinematic gameplay. Groups preferring pre-made settings with minimal prep, if you pick up the cinematic adventures. Who's not going to really enjoy this? Players who prefer classless RPGs with open-ended customization. GMs who want extensive tools for building custom modern-day worlds easily. Okay, final thoughts. Everyday Heroes delivers a modern, action-packed RPG experience rooted in the 5e mechanics. It really shines at cinematic storytelling, perfect for high-speed chases, intense shootouts, and dramatic standoffs, or the bump, 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 bump moments of like a Mission Impossible game. While its reliance on 5e can be a little limiting, it's an excellent choice for bringing a action movie energy to your tabletop in a modern setting. With diverse characters, stunning artwork, and some flexible mechanics, I think Everyday Heroes is well worth exploring for any modern RPG enthusiast. The system's depth, from character creation to combat, ensures that every session feels like stepping into an action blockbuster. So have you picked up Everyday Heroes? I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. So if you are interested in getting your own copy of Everyday Heroes, make sure you are subscribed and then follow the link in the description to enter the giveaway. It is open to US and Canada, excluding Montreal, because we need to ship out the physical book. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming tabletop RPG content. And I'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative. Bye! As someone who loves... Ooh, that's way too fast.